What's going on, everybody? Get my camera in focus. There we go. It's your boy Mr. HD back with another live stream, man. I should be doing this pre-recorded, just in case my son wake up. But I'm gonna try to get this live stream in because I got a lot of talk about. I got a lot to talk about. See, that would have been an edit right there. You know what I mean, if I was recording it, but I got a lot to talk about. And yeah, I don't want to have to go through all these edits talking about this story or my thoughts on it. But in this video, we're about to talk about why Roman Reigns leaving WWE is going to be good for everybody. I know if you're a wrestling fan, if you're really watching this, you're a wrestling fan, and you know the story. If you're aware of the dirt sheets, it's reported that Roman Reigns is about to be a part timer. There's a caveat though; he's not really going to be a part timer. I guess kind of a part timer. Not really a part timer. If he's a part timer, then everybody's a part timer because nobody's on every single pay per view. But with that being said, he's not going to be on Hell in a Cell coming up. He's been pulled from that show. He's apparently not going to be doing house shows going forward. He's just going to stick to the big pay per views, the big shows. Obviously, Raw or SmackDown if he was on one of the televised shows. But he's pretty much going to be doing that. We're going to get into reasons why and reasons possibly why. No word has come from Roman's mouth, so this is all speculation. But I just want to put that out there. But let's get into it right after the intro.
We want the smoke, huh? We want the smoke.
Talk to him.
We want the smoke.
Uh-huh.
We want the smoke.
Come on, Charlie.
Yeah, sorry, that intro was hot. It was a hot intro. Jones blew my eardrums out for a second. But yeah, so top 5 reasons, around these my 5 reasons that Roman Reigns leaving WWE. And I say leaving, like he's not leaving WWE, but say he did leave for a specific amount of time and he was just gone away. Like I'm gonna look at it from that perspective. Like he just dipped out and he's like, yo, I'm about to go do these movies, blah, blah, blah. I'm about to go do whatever, spend time with my family, my health, blah, 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 all these different things. And he just bounced for a minute. I specifically wouldn't be mad at it. I would miss Roman Reigns, obviously, because everybody loves Roman Reigns. He's Roman Reigns. I would miss him, but I think that there's a lot of benefits that could come from it. And we'll start with number one. And I think this is obvious to a lot of people. I think him taking time off right now extends his career. And protects his health. I think that's something that's important. Obviously, when the pandemic hit, he was like deuces because obviously he's had cancer. Like he can't be taking no chances out there all willy nilly if things ain't right. So Roman has definitely always had it, not one foot out the door, but he puts his health, as a top priority because the man got a wife and kids. I respect that. So he's definitely willing to step away to protect his health, and I think it's a good idea for wrestlers to take breaks because I don't even want to say who, but I know there were some wrestlers speaking on it recently, like how the road, is what has them in their 60s and 70s barely able to walk, and even earlier than their 60s and 70s, 40s and 50s, dudes be damn near paraplegics, you know what I mean? It's because they're on the road 250, 300 days a year working for WWE. Working for WWE is more like 300 days a year. It's just crazy shit. And that takes a toll on your body. You're doing it for 10, 15, 20 years. Roman Reigns could be on top of WWE for the next 5, 10 years very easily. He's had the belt for almost 3 at this point. You know what I mean? So it's no reason why he wouldn't have another 10, 15 years onto his career. His cousin The Rock is still going. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be wrestling him. There's so many feuds Roman can have in the future with younger stars and just so much going on. So I think that's a good reason for him to step away. Obviously, extends his career. You'll be able to still have Roman Reigns when he's 50. Probably still be buff like The Rock is in his 50s. Prepared to do some big matches as a real part timer. I think that could be a good look for Roman Reigns. If he did take some time off, and I think that could be. Obviously good for other people like his wife and his kids. So my reason number 2, It's kind of tied into reason number one, but it's different because it's more focused on Roman himself and not his health. And well, not Roman himself, but specifically Roman and us, the fans. It avoids burnout because obviously the fans are fickle. We're fans. We're fans are fickle. I try not to be as fickle as the typical fan, but fans are fickle, including myself. So you gotta understand that you could love somebody for 3, 4, 5 years, and then you just be like, all right, I'm tired of liking this guy. Can I get somebody else new to enjoy? Because I've seen everything this guy has to do, and it's just burnout. You get tired of seeing the same wrestlers and so on and so forth. So, you know, you want to see somebody new. You want to see who's the next big Roman Reigns that's going to come through. And fans get burnt out watching the same guy. That's why people got tired of Charlotte Flair. That's why people got tired of part-time Brock Lesnar. These guys were always on top, and gals were always on top, and it never seemed like they were, you know, away. Even though Brock Lesnar was away, he always came back, and it felt like at the most inconvenient times where they should have been pushing other people, and we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, that's my number two reason. I think it avoids burnout from Roman Reigns as well. Obviously, giving him time off, but that's more lined in with reason number one, his health and everything. Reason number two is more for the fans not being burnt out on Roman Reigns and his gimmick and fresher feuds and everything like that. So. Let's see. Number three would be is this a big one? Um, and it kind of ties in. All these kind of tie in. I guess it's all about one guy, so they all kind of tie in. But I think it giving him extended breaks from TV, from the ring, from everything, allows you to focus on the storylines more when he does come around. Kind of like Brock Lesnar always had big stories, but Brock was just like the big warrior king who couldn't beat anybody. Roman Reigns can tell stories. We saw what he did with Jey Uso. Like Roman Reigns is a storyteller. He has the facial expression, like he's ready to go to Hollywood. Got all the facial expressions, got all the voice inflections, got the mannerisms. He's got it down pat. That's why the Jimmy Uso feud or the Jey Uso feud was so it was so crazy because you just like you felt everything. Even Jacob being Hollywood, him and his brother, especially Jay though. Jay like sold all of that shit amazingly. Like they gonna be in Hollywood right after their cousin. So it's I think that's a big thing. They could, when somebody's away for a while, they can have time to build other people. We'll get into that in a minute too. And then you could create storylines based on you could rehash the Rock storylines. Like we haven't had the Rock storylines happen in so long. We need an asshole Hollywood guy. The Miz ain't that guy. I'm sorry, the Miz ain't though. Nobody gives a fuck that the Miz is doing movies. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, go away and do some movies. We'll see you when you get back. I guess I'm a fan of the Miz, big fan of the Miz. Love his work. But his wrestling work. I don't know about the movies, but yeah, his wrestling work. Big fan of the Miz, but yeah, It's not Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? He's not The Rock. Like, uh, I don't know. I just think it gives you give it some time to cook. You give people miss you. They come back and they're more. You come back and they're more involved in your storylines. But like I said, I want to see the asshole Hollywood dude. He's already the asshole wrestler who's too good for everybody. Like, and he plays it perfectly. You know what I mean? He's like, no, I'm the best at this. He could be like, yo, I'm a better actor than Dwayne. You know what I mean? Than my cousin. Like after he beats him at WrestleMania, please. Man, I just want the match. I don't even care. Well, I do care who wins, and I don't need to see it twice. I don't think so. Yeah, just have Roman win. But yeah, I think that it would be a good thing. Give him time to focus on the stories. We need more stories like with the. It's hard. It's gonna be hard to like really do the Jey Usos thing with anyone outside The Rock. Because it's a family thing, so that's a whole different level. But I think that would definitely help. Maybe not help Roman Reigns. He's killing it right now, but I think in the long term it will help Roman Reigns and help everybody. So, yeah, that's my reason number three. So just to recap, reason number one was, it extends his career, protects his health. Reason number two, it avoids burnout from the fans, and we won't get sick of him like a Charlotte or a Brock. And reason number three is we could focus on the stories of Roman Reigns instead of just having him in feuds nobody cares about just so he could stay on TV all the time. Like I said, he's been champion for 2+ years now. I'd be perfectly fine if I didn't see him for 3 or 4 months and he came. I wouldn't even care if he kept the title. Like, I'm not saying none of these reasons. Let me be clear. I am not saying that he should be stripped of the title at all. I don't even care if the belt ain't around. Maybe drop one of them. You got to drop one of them. Both shows can't have no belt. Like, drop one of the belts before you go, but then you still the fucking Universal Champion or the WWE probably Universal Champion. It's still the Universal Champion when you come back. You know what I mean? And what? Like, I think that works perfectly. He's still the big dog. You get to keep that reign, that Bruno San Martino-ish reign. It's not there yet. You know what I mean? Still about 5 years short, but you can keep that reign going. And then Roman could come back and somebody else could try to beat him. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it works. Plus, we got to get, if we're going to do The Rock at WrestleMania, like, we got to get all the way there. And I think just him having some time off gives us a little breather. So then when he comes back, SummerSlam, maybe, and maybe he takes another break after SummerSlam. You know what I mean? Maybe he comes back and does SummerSlam and then takes another break until, what's not Hell in a Cell. What's the end of the year? Royal Rumble, beginning of the year, pay-per-view. Royal Rumble comes back to Royal Rumble, and then he starts building a feud with Dwayne. Dwayne ain't about to do a 6-month feud, even with Roman right now. Like, he's about to drop Black Adam. He got mad shit coming. Like, I don't think that's happening. So you got about a hot 2-3 months. Maybe he would. He did it with John Cena, but I don't think he wasn't as big of a star as he is now. That dude, I mean, he was busy, but now that's like, I don't even remember when The Rock and John Cena fought. It was so long ago at this point. Like, how many years ago is that? Feels like almost a decade ago. And The Rock was not the Rock he is today a decade ago. So, yeah, I think that this is just something that's unavoidable, man. I think that focusing on getting Roman some time off is just going to be a good thing for a lot of people. So let's get into reason number 4, which I think is important for WWE and pro wrestling in general. I think Roman should actually get time off now to go do movies. I think WWE should actually actively promote him doing that. Like, yo, we need you to leave and go become a star like your cousin. Because when you go become a star, guess what that does? Helps us, because he's clearly going to have one of those John Cena situations, because, I can't say that for sure, but I would imagine since he's a WWE lifer, he's not like, I'm here for 4 years and I'm out like his cousin was. He's like John Cena, like he's going to do 10, 15 years. He's already been there a decade, and he's going to go do his thing in Hollywood. So, WWE is going to get a cut of that because WWE got their hands in John Cena's pocket. All those movies he doing, Peacemaker, everything, his whole acting career. WWE gets a cut if you're not aware of that. Like, everything he does in the movies, he's still under contract with WWE. So, and he's perfectly fine with that because he said no one would fucking know who he is if it wasn't for WWE and Vince McMahon, which is a level of loyalty that I, again, respect. That's some man shit. You know what I mean? That's how you create forever relationships in business and life. It's loyalty, man. Just be loyal to the people who looked out for you. Somebody put you in a position to succeed. Don't forget that when you actually succeed. And that's what John Cena has done. And I think Roman Reigns will be in the same situation. And that's why I think WWE should push him towards that. Come on, man. Roman Reigns like the best, and then pause before I say that. He's like the best looking wrestler on TV. Like, dude looks like a movie star. He got the long hair, the Samoan face, perfect fucking jawline. You know what I mean? It's like he's like the fucking specimen. You know what I mean? So it's like, of course he's going to succeed in the movies. He's got that shit more than The Rock does, I think. Like, I think he has like the whole, you know what I mean, women would be all over him thing more than The Rock has it. Like, Roman Reigns is a leading man. You know what I mean? In Hollywood, in my opinion, I think that he could pull it off. Like he looks like Jason Momoa. Tell me he don't. He look like Jason. He could be Aquaman. We really need to replace Amber Heard. That's who we really need to replace. We don't need another. We need to replace her, just in general, in all of life. But anyways, that's another topic. But he's literally looks like Jason Momoa. So Roman Reigns is fully ready to go for Hollywood. I think that it's a smart idea. He becomes a bigger star in Hollywood. He comes back, still got the belt on. Maybe if he's gone for a year or something, he got to drop the title. Obviously, you can't have the belts off. But if he's gone for 3-4 months to go shoot some movies, man, keep that belt on him. Have him have that shit on set of one of these blockbuster movies. Get him in a Marvel film. That's the coup de grace. That's what you got to do. Get Roman Reigns in a Marvel film. Like, and it's over. Or DC. I wouldn't say DC, though, because they already got somebody who looked just like him, like I just said. Just get him in a Marvel film. Let him play Neymar Sumerian. I think they already got somebody to do that. I don't know. Let him do something. Don't do that, because then he'd just be the Aquaman. Would be a terrible idea. The Aquaman of the Marvel Universe. Don't do that to Roman. But, he's fully ready, man. I could see him in the next Hobbs and Shaw, next Fast and Furious, whatever the fuck The Rock is doing. He can cameo it. He's ready to go, man. Like I didn't see it years ago, but I'm telling you, after that Jey Uso feud, I was like, yep, Roman's a superstar. He's ready to go to Hollywood. Just pack him up. You know what I mean? Pack him up and send him away. He's ready to go. So I'm definitely a big proponent for that. And like I said, that adds on. Him doing that actually helps with the first three things. Avoids us being burnt out by him. It protects his health because he's not taking bumps all the time. And, lets us focus on the storylines more when he does come back. So I think that it's a good thing if WWE does that. And finally, we'll get into our final reason why Roman Reigns leaving WWE for an extended period is good for all. And I think this is the most important reason of all the reasons that I've given. Gruss, what up? Gruss was cracking. See the homie Gruss in the chat. Yeah. Tech 2000 Blake was cracking, man. Been a minute. I ain't seen you in here, bro. Was cracking. Good to see you, my G. So yeah, my number one reason. It's number one reason. I guess it's number 5 the way I did it, but you know what I mean. This is the most important reason that I think Roman Reigns would be leaving would be good for everybody. Who has the IC title? Who has the Intercontinental title? Is it Sami Zayn? Is that who? No. Who has the IC title? That's okay. First of all, that's the point I'm making. I don't even need to. Do I need to make the point? I could just end it right there. Ricochet does not have the Intercontinental title. Actually, Ricochet does have the fucking Intercontinental title. That's my point. That's my point. Roman Reigns leaving WWE would give WWE a chance to remind us that these championships matter. Because right now, for the love of God, the United States title, the U.S. title, or the United States title, the Intercontinental title, and the women's tag team titles, they're trying with the women's tag titles, but Boss and Glow ain't doing it for me. I'm sorry. I'd rather see them fight than be friends. But it's like all these secondary belts mean nothing. The only reason the men's tag team titles mean something right now is because they got them on 2 of about 4 teams that would even be able to carry those belts. You got them on the Usos and RK Bro, the 2 hottest tag teams in damn near, I ain't gonna say all of pro wrestling. That would be disrespectful to AEW. But they're 2 of the hottest. They might not be the 2 hottest, but they're 2 of the, and they're definitely 2 of the best tag teams. And you know what? Fuck that. RK Bro is definitely the hottest tag team in professional wrestling right now. I don't care. Randy Orton pops feel like Stone Cold pops sometime, and he ain't even trying to do that shit. I'm like, damn, they going crazy for Randy. Love Randy Orton. They love Riddle too. I love Riddle. I love Randy Orton. You know what I mean? Always have. So I get it. And this tag team is high. I feel like, it would give WWE, they're doing a decent job of focusing on the men's tag titles, but they could focus more on the men's tag division. So they have more than 4 teams. Viking Raiders, I just saw them on NXT. Like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is it? Why are they on this show? They ain't even got no tag teams on the main roster for nobody to fight. What the hell is going on? So, like, who's the US champ right now? I'm pretty sure. Who's the US champ? Oh man, this is sad. This is so sad. I should know who the United States champion. It should be easy. Wait a minute. Cody he didn't win it, but he just fought for it. Who did he fight for it? I watched it and Seth interfered. Who has the belt? I don't even know. I know who fought for the belt. See, there we go. Theory. And now I feel bad because I'm a fan of Theory. But what the fuck has he done with that belt? It's not even his fault, though. It's because WWE hasn't put the focus on the title. They put the focus on the characters, but they don't put the focus on the championship. So when the championship exchanges hands, it doesn't fucking matter at all. It don't matter. So that's what I want them to do. I want them to focus on the other titles. So yes, let Roman take the Universal title and skedaddle off to Hollywood. Please. This is like the number one reason that I want this to happen. You know what I mean? Everybody Punk ass Theory US champ. Your favorite wrestler is the US champ. Yeah, he's not my favorite wrestler, but I mess with Theory. I mess with Theory tough. I think that he's definitely a champion, but WWE, what they're doing with him is okay. I'm not totally mad at what they're doing with Theory, but like I said, they're not focusing on the title. Everybody should be thirsty for those titles. You should have people who also are chasing the world title, like Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. All these guys I had that belt. I just like have them come back like, no, I want that belt too, nigga. I want that one too. Give me that U.S. title. Give me that Intercontinental title. Bring back the European Championship. Fuck. I don't know. You're going to make some new title. That should definitely be a title. Like, that should be the third mid-card belt. They should have brought that back instead of creating a Universal title. Right? Like, you don't need too big. Just bring the European Championship back. No, we'll give you the 24/7 title. Here's a toy green and gold belt. Dickheads. But anyways, that shit it just annoys me on that level. But I like Ricochet and In Theory are champions right now. And it took me about 5 minutes to remember that both of them were champions. And that's sad. And I feel like that's something that WWE needs to change immediately. You know what I mean? It's like, because those guys are world champion material. Ricochet could be Rey Mysterio world champion levels. Like, I mean, obviously he ain't gonna hold the title for 6 months or nothing, because it's too many people that should just be able to roll over him, like knock him out the air, swat him down like a fly. But he could get a lucky victory over some big giant and win the title, just like Ray did, just like Eddie did, just like so many of these other wrestlers did. You know what I mean? And it would work. And I would love to see Ricochet with a world championship. I would love that. See Ricochet in some main event 30-minute matches. What? They gave us Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan does it all the time. I think Ricochet taller than him. Now they wrestling different styles. Like, obviously Ricochet's not, but you got Ricochet going. He could do that for 30. We've seen him do it. You know what I mean? We've seen what he did before he got to WWE, even in WWE. I don't even know if he's ever had a 30-minute match in WWE, honestly. But we need that, man. We need that. You know what I mean? It's like, we need more focus on those mid-card titles, those mid-card feuds. The feuds are doing fine. The mid-card feuds, honestly, WWE feels, the men's, especially with the men's division, it feels like the mid-card feuds, or if you want to call it mid-cards, like Kevin Owens isn't a mid-card feud, like, but Ezekiel Elias is, like, so I don't know, but these guys are stars and they're killing it. Kevin Owens is hilarious every week. Seth Rollins a main star. I would never consider Seth Rollins a mid-carder. But the men's division in the mid-card is okay. It's just, and the stories sometimes are pretty good. Raw's been pretty decent the last couple months, but Nobody knows anything about the belts. Where are the championships? The whole reason people wrestle. Literally, I mean, checks, the checks. But what does Booker T say? He say a lot of dumb shit, but one thing he does say is people wrestle for checks and championships. And one of those is missing from this equation because no one fucking cares. Why do we care about the US title? Like, why does anybody in the chat care about the US title? Why would you? They don't do anything to make you care about it. What did they gave that title to Apollo Cruz. Gruss, that's disrespectful as hell. You are wrong. That's so fucked up. So fucked up. KGM said, "What's up, KGM?" He said, "Don't disrespect the 20." I'm disrespecting it. You saw what they've been doing with that shit the last couple weeks. It'd be funny for like a second, like when Reggie rolled up Dana Brooke at the pay-per-view. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, yeah, no simping. But then, he started begging again. And I was like, damn, bro, it's tough life out here. But I get it. I understand. Kevin Owens just main evented WrestleMania against Stone Cold Steve. That's right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't call Kevin Owens a mid-carder at all. He's a main eventer for sure. He would be anywhere he goes. He ain't got the main eventer look, but he's a fucking main eventer. He's one of the most talented dudes in the world when it comes to pro wrestling. Kevin Owens is, it's not even a question. His promo game is MJF levels. You know what I mean? Like he's that good. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I just think that that's why I'm harping on this last reason so much, because I think that it's super important. And that's why when I heard this story, I was like, yo, that's good. Roman Reigns taking off. He's taking time off to go do movies and go to Hollywood and all that shit. I was like, oh, that's perfect. You know what I mean? That's what he should do. And for this exact reason. So that's my last reason. I'll recap the list real quick for those who came through late. The first reason that I gave was, it extends his career and protects his health. Obviously, you want Roman Reigns around for the next 2 decades if you're WWE, since he is only in his early 30s. And by giving him time off whenever he can, go do his Hollywood dreams, you extend his career like you have with The Rock. So I think that's always good. And, the second reason I gave was it avoids burnout from the fans. We don't get sick of him because Roman Reigns is the champion of WWE right now. He deserves it. He's the only person right now. I mean, there's other people, but he should have those titles. There's at no other moment. I mean, maybe when Brock became undisputed champ. Well, there's been other moments. I'm being facetious right now, but like I've never felt like somebody was so far and ahead of the rest of the roster. Like it wasn't like this in the Attitude Era. You had 10 people that could have been champion at any time. They only put it on almost all of them. I feel like Stone Cold, Undertaker, The Rock, Triple H, everybody, Vince McMahon. It's like so many stars and everybody got their crack. And they were all like neck and neck fighting for the top spot. And Kurt Angle, can't forget about him. So it's like all these guys fighting for those tops. Now it's Roman Reigns he's literally the head of the table. It's like nobody close. Like I love Seth Rollins. I love Kevin Owens. I love Bobby Lashley. All these guys are amazing. Nobody's fucking with Roman Reigns. It's like Roman Reigns, then the rest of the roster. So it's, stop it with the Jericho. What? Jericho? What? No, we're not going to do that. So Jericho is great. Reinvented himself for the 12th time. Got to respect that. But yeah, he's not Roman Reigns right now. I mean that I don't want to disrespect Jericho either, because Jericho's done it over an extended period of 20, 30 years. I'm sorry. But right now, Roman Reigns is the best thing in pro wrestling. Like, peak Roman Reigns when he's on his shit, which he pretty much always is. He's consistent. Just consistent. Like, he's not coming out like Edge and cutting cryptic promos that you don't know. He just come out there talking shit and keeps his same swag and, fights the best people and beats them. And, sometimes there's interference, but sometimes there's not. Like, he's legitimately the best, in the business. He's saying, no, I was saying Jericho is an Attitude Era. Oh, yeah, he's another one, Jericho. Yep, that's a good shout. Plus, we talking about people who won both titles. So, yeah, Jericho's a great shout, actually. Gruss thrives on negativity. He's the the hill of the IWC. That's his gimmick, man. You know what I mean? You gotta know his gimmick. but yeah, so those are my and the what was the third, no, that was the third reason. The fourth reason was it gives him time to develop his music career, which will benefit WWE and everybody surrounding. And obviously the number one reason that I said was to focus on those fucking mid-card titles, because we need to. Titles, belts, championships, whatever you want to call them, we need to focus on them. Because I didn't know Theory was the champion still. I forgot, but I remembered because I watched Raw this week, actually. And I definitely, it would have I might not have ever remembered Ricochet was the U.S. champ if someone, or it's the U.S. or the, I don't even fucking know, it's the Intercontinental champion. I would have never remembered that if it wasn't for the chat. So it's just like, how is that? And it's not the wrestlers' fault because they're amazing. They're awesome. The wrestlers are awesome. Theory, Ricochet's even doper than Theory. And I'm a Theory fan, but Ricochet is Ricochet, man. Like, Theory's better on the mic in WWE. Ricochet before WWE, better on the mic than Theory. But Theory wasn't even a thing, I don't think. But anyways, so Ricochet, no, Gruss, absolutely not. Absolutely. Rick, what? Gruss, why do you hate, are you, Ricochet, no. Ricochet is a, what? Have you seen his match against Will Ospreay? What are you talking about? Yes, of course. Of course I want to see Austin Theory get spotlighted as the U.S. champion. I mean, is it more about the championship or is it more about Austin Theory? I'm going to say, honestly, I can say this honestly, is more about the championship, because when Austin Theory loses the title, I want whoever he passes the title to fucking benefit from it. I don't want everybody to be like, oh, Austin Theory lost, and then we just forget about the U.S. title again because the person he lost it to, we don't give a shit about him. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you make the title important instead of just the wrestler, you know what I mean? Then when you transfer the title, you know what I mean? Then it's like, oh shit, that guy must be important. He just beat this guy. Like, so he must be the next big thing. I don't know why my focus keeps going in and out. I'm sorry, guys. It's because I'm shooting in 4K, I think. And I can't use my full face autofocus or whatever when I'm shooting at 4K. I'm going to have to buy a $5,000 camera instead of this $2,500 camera. It's fucking bullshit, man. Shit. It's fucking cameras, man. They always get you. But the Theory is the new Dolph Ziggler. Was that a diss or was that a compliment? Because I'm pretty sure you just complimented him. I don't know if you realize what you just did there. Dolph Ziggler done smashed half the locker room. First of all, let's just get that out the way. The women love him, so let's just get that out there. Secondly, he's been around for like 15 years. He's been champion. He won, like, he had like literally one of the best moments in the history of the company with his Money in the Bank cash in. Still got all his hair. Doing comedy on the side, still getting million. He has a $1 million contract. I'm pretty sure it's up in the multis. It might be one something, two something, I don't know. But he's getting paid very, very well. And he don't even have to be around. It's a ludicrous statement. Or maybe you were just trying to compliment Theory and you didn't know it. But Dolph Ziggler is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Exactly, Blake. He's definitely one of the best wrestlers in the world. Now, he gonna oversell some shit, but so did Shawn Michaels. And he's literally talked about as being the greatest wrestler of all time. So we saw what he did against Hulk Hogan. Flopping all over the fucking place. So it is what it is. I mean, I don't know if Theory is that good, honestly. I feel like you just gave Theory hella props. I'm not sure Theory's that good. I like Theory. Dolph Ziggler's on another level, man. Like, we can't just act like Dolph Ziggler's not on another fucking level. We're not going to do that. We're not going to disrespect Dolph Ziggler like that over here. We're going to give Dolph his props. You know what I mean? He is, you know. I know it is what it is. You know, he a player backstage in the locker room. You know what I mean? He hits it and quits it. You know what I mean? Then he come back like, you know what, Nikki? You don't need John. He ain't shit. He be dirty macking like shit. Dolph is a scumbag. He's a true scumbag. He's a heel through and through, man. You gotta love it. But it is what it is, man. Hey, I ain't gonna disrespect Dolph over here, man. That guy's a talented guy. Only member left of Theory's family the way is Indy Hartwell. Go ahead and call her up. Call her up? What's she gonna do when they call her up? Get fired? She gonna get released? Well, I guess they release the NXT superstars quicker than they are WWE or main roster superstars, because we can't call NXT the third brand anymore. It's just the developmental brand again. They were almost there, and then Triple H got sick, and Vince McMahon was like, whew. And that was that. So, yeah, man. I think we pretty much hashed out all the reasons that Roman Reigns leaving would be a good thing, man. Need to focus on these mid-card titles, baby. Focus on these mid-card titles. Give Apollo Crews back the championship. Make Drew McIntyre. I saw somebody in the chat. I think they said Drew McIntyre was rumored to be trying to bring back the European Championship. Oh, actually, I did see something about that, because he said that was the only title he hadn't won or something like that. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I think that's what it was. But yeah, that would be awesome. I don't know if they need to bring it back now. You know what I mean? But do something with the mid-card titles, man. I know Drew's probably going to be facing Roman. He might be the one to take one of the belts off Roman, but there's so many people on the roster. Sami Zayn is obviously a great IC champion, great US champion, level guy, but you can't have him with the belt all the time. People got to beat him for it, and you got to build new stars. But wrestlers like Theory and Ricochet and Apollo Crews and Mustafa Ali, still got to work on your promos, kid. Like, sometimes these wrestlers be complaining on the internet, and then they get on these shows and it be like, you see, this is why. Fix that part. Because half the time, I don't give a fuck what MJF about to do in the ring, nigga. I just want to see him get his ass beat. Like, if you could talk on the mic, nigga, that's 80% of pro wrestling is cutting promos. It's a bunch of shitty wrestlers who just are really good on the mic. Now, if you could do both, I mean, it's gold. But people like Ali, I think Apollo had it. You know what I mean? Apollo had it. You know what I mean? The accent is a little. I loved it because it was funny and it's entertaining, especially as a heel. But they can't make him a baby face. It's like, because then it's gonna be cheesy. So he has to stay a heel if he didn't keep that accent. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but who knows? Why'd they take your song "Killing 'Em" off Apple Music? What? Is that true? I don't know. I don't check on my music anymore. I'll check it like once a year or something. I'll check my CD Baby account and make sure that everything's good and make sure my payouts, because I still get paid for my music, obviously. So I'll make sure my payout dates is straight and all that stuff. So I'm not sure. Maybe it has something to do with A3C, because that song was owned by A3C. I did that song I'm not sure if y'all know what A3C is. It's like one of the biggest music festivals in the country. They do it in Atlanta. I was actually one of the featured artists there that year that song came out. But I did that song specifically for their mixtape. I shot my own video for it and all that. It was just a studio video with the homies. But the video was fire and all that. But that's one of my favorite songs that I ever did. Just bars upon bars. You know what I mean? It's one of those. I'm gonna just give y'all metaphors. Here you go. Here's some bars, some battle rap bars. You know what I mean? But I love doing records like that. So it's it was what it was. Said it ain't available in America anymore or something. I have no clue. That song is 100% copyright. I watched the beat get produced. It was just sounds, no samples, no. I don't know. Maybe it's something with Apple Music, maybe it's something with CD Baby, maybe it's something with A3C Festival. It could be a number of reasons. Who fucking knows? I think you could maybe it's still on Spotify. I'll check Spotify, but yeah, I don't even use Apple Music, which is weird because I have an entire Apple ecosystem. So yeah. And thanks, Blake. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that love. Cody Rhodes will revive Legacy in WWE with the new members MJF and FTR. When the time is right, Cody will feud with Orton over Legacy. Okay, that's. Do you work for WWE now, or because it seems like you've been writing most of these stories over the last couple years? Because that's fucking terrible. Oh my God, that's a horrible idea. What is that in the book of bad booking? It's redundant, but you know what I meant. That ain't good. That would be a terrible idea. I don't even want to see that. Over Legacy? No. No. Right. You talk about people that even FTR ain't going back to WWE. They was about to put them in hot dog server costumes. They was about to make them dudes look like clowns. They ain't going to see. Have I seen the new Dr. Strip? What you think? What you think, Russ? Only about 17 times. Watched the movie 17. I've seen it regular theater, seen it IMAX, watched the bootleg about 50 times. Yes, I've seen the movie. I'm actually going to I'm looking for people to talk about comic book movies. I want to do an MCU channel. And I got to get, I know my boy Price he's all down to do it. So, but I want to get like a group, like 3 or 4 of us to go talk about movies and stuff. But obviously I'm about to start being back on Wow Nation on a regular basis. Just had to clear up some real life things and organize my life as a new dad. My son just turned 1, so I gotta make sure I'm, grounded and my schedule is he in there sleep. Gotta go wake him up from his nap right now. So I'm gonna get up out of here and I'll be right back probably on Monday with another video, unless I come up with an idea and I hop on later. That's the beauty of having a studio, baby. I could just hit the button, bong, and be live. But you know what it is, man. These are the 5 reasons why Roman Reigns leaving. Not that we want him to leave. Why these reasons will be good for everybody. And with that said, let's hit it one time. Yeah. It don't matter if you copyright claim my shit, bitch, because we ain't monetized yet anyway. Let's go. I gotta get smug. Hold on. Smuggest entrance of all time. You gotta have a smug face, so you gotta. I gotta take my glasses off. That's how Roman come to the ring. Roman come to the ring like, no, my shit smells like potpourri, bitch. Thanks for asking. All right, y'all. It's your boy, Mr. HD, man. I see y'all on the next one. Peace.